Welcome back to another ECRO chasing series race. This one's the 6th. This one's chasing Amstel. It's 600 metres give or take of climbing, 47 kilometres give or take of track to go round. It's a repeatable track. Basically, we go around the same course 15 times, which is the Duchy Estate. I don't think I've ever ridden this one before. So, yeah. Let's see how we get on. As usual, try and hang with the A's until the first climb and then see where we end up with the B's. Enjoy! So off we go, just 3 seconds before we start, and at the beginning of this race it all goes to plan. Hang with the A's, keep relatively well in the pack, my drafting's okay, and it's a decent start to the race. But then there's a couple of things that kind of go wrong a little bit. I mean, the first one's not too dramatic. As you'll see in a minute, I suddenly realised that I didn't have the right shirt on for my team. In fact, just as one of my teammates goes past me there on the screen, I can see him and I think, I should have changed my shirt so that at least my other teammates know where I am. So in a moment, you'll see me pop into the garage and do that. But that doesn't actually cause me any problems in terms of where I'm placing. Here I go now to do it. What does cause me a problem though is around the 15-minute mark, my camera that's videoing me in the bottom left hand corner of the screen that you can see at the minute fails, and essentially I think it probably overheated. I'd been out on my motorbike earlier in the day and it had already been used quite a lot, and I went straight in and did this, so maybe that's what caused the issue. I don't know, but we'll get to the bottom of it for the next video, I'm sure. But if I fast forward now to that point in the race, you'll see what happens. So you join us back. It's 18 minutes into the race. We're just going up this climb again, and this is pretty much where I've realised that, as you'll have seen watching through on the speeded up version, that the camera went off, and for some unknown reason I feel like this is important, so I better do something about it. And what better place to do that than on a hill? And you can see now, any second now, my drops, there they go, my watts have dropped because I'm leaning forwards on my bike trying to sort out the camera. I really don't manage it. I look up and I've lost about 20 places, but worse than that, I've lost my point in the pack. So now it's a case of forgetting about the camera for a bit and pushing on and trying to catch back up with the pack as best I can. So yeah, I'm now pulling 400 watts up this hill. Already a bit fatigued after 20 minutes, as you are, and I can see them up just ahead. So let's see how I get on in terms of whether I catch them back or not. Well, you can see after about 4 minutes of pushing hard, I've managed to catch up with at least a couple of the other riders who are ahead of me. So we're now currently around the 27 mark. I'm kind of back in the mix with the Bs, which is where I always expected to be, and obviously whereabouts you want to be. And then from here on in, we seem to work quite well together, and we start to pull back some of the other Bs that are in front of us. So I'll take you through to the end of the video. You can, I'll slow it down for the finish, as I normally do, and then James in real life, through gasping breaths as always, after an hour or more, will take you through what he thought of it. Enjoy the rest of the video and see you shortly. Well, it's finally the final climb of the day. 15 times we've done this. Starts off pretty steep, around the 8-9% mark, and then starts to level off. We've caught up a group of riders who are a lap behind us, so that makes it a little bit confusing when you're trying to work out where your position is. I always kind of lose my way, so I've been keeping an eye on my position, which is 22nd out of the 128 riders that started the race at the beginning. But basically just trying to keep the power down on this steep incline bit. It then starts to flatten off, and again pushing through with the power. You can see the pain etched all over my face, and really now I'm thinking, if I could just hold this position and finish in and around 20th, I'd be super happy with that as a performance. We're just lapping some more riders as we come up to the final half a kilometre. So you can see when you look at the bottom, it gives you that indicator of how far behind the other riders are, and our group is basically all together now. There's myself and Humphrey right next to me, who are battling it out towards the line, but I bet he's as conscious as I am that we're literally no distance at all in front of the riders behind me as we come into the last third of a kilometre. And there's the attack, and you can see there's some serious power going down. I'm out of my seat. It was a really well-timed attack by Nesterov there, that you can see he's a couple of riders ahead of us. He's really putting the power down, as is Brandt. You can see all of the watts per kilos are going into the red, and I'm just thinking, if I can hold these two guys behind me, I'll come in 23rd, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. So really delighted with that. So let's go back to James and see how we got on. Let's see how I got on. 278 average watts. Loads of red in there with all of those little punchy climbs. It was relentless. Critical power about that. 1 minute. It's not bad. And then when we get down to there, we're kind of, yeah, it's a good ride. I'm pretty pleased with that. Thanks as always for watching, and I might have got my breath back for the next one. Bye now.